4BC.
8 minutes past 7 here with Ian and Jamie for breakfast. Good morning. We were talking about the parking meters being all over Brisbane.
They're moving out.
6,000 they're moving
from the city into the burbs.
Paddington traders say council plans to introduce parking meters in the area is a revenue-grabbing exercise that will only hurt business.
Well, it's hard to see it as anything else, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. On the line, I got Scott Driscoll, Executive Director of the Retailers Association. What do you reckon, Scott? As if I don't know.
G'day, Jamie. Mate, look, I do think this is... I'm not going to get into the debate whether it's revenue-raising or not, and I think there's probably a bit of politics in this already with the Labor side of the council leaking something I believe they already voted for in favour of. But what it is, it's a threat to convenience shopping, and it's not good town planning when you're actually going to go against some fairly well and long-held beliefs that you want to make it convenient for people when they're already out on a trip to be able to call in somewhere and get the bread and milk on the way home.
But it doesn't cost you to go into a shopping centre, does it? It might drive people into there.
Well, I think that's the real threat. I think we're going to see more congestion around shopping centres. We're going to see people making special trips to go to shopping centres, which they may well not have done so often, and that's... again, not in the interests of the environment and cutting back on road traffic. And as I say, it's just good town planning to make that as easy and convenient as possible, and obviously as cheap as possible for people to do that convenient shop.
Yeah, because I mean, at $3 or $4 an hour, even if you pull up for like breakfast
that's
or something
$3.20
at a cafe, that's going to add like $8 to you know. If you stay for an hour and a half or something to have your meal, that's like an extra $8. You know, why would you pay it?
Well, Ian, look, I know myself when I've tried to, drop off at a place and not realise that you have to have a pocket full of change just to be able to have the privilege of pulling up. But sometimes when you don't, you just have to get back in the car and move on. So it's not only the extra cost, it's the convenience.
And is it a surprise to you that these, to the retailers, was it a surprise to them that this happened? It just seems to roll out really quickly.
It was. Unfortunately, we didn't really have any forewarning other than the leak, as I said. So there wasn't really any sort of consultation on this, and there wasn't really any sort of planning with industry around it either.
Yeah, it went out quicker than the rebate on your insulation. It was like, bang!
They're talking as far out as Chermside. I mean, that's a long way out, isn't it?
It is. It's hardly an inner-city suburb when you're getting out to Chermside, and I think that's also part of... I think people need to start to remember there's a little bit of mischief afoot out at Chermside Shopping Centre in that they're applying to put in a boom gate so that they can too start charging for parking on their property. So, look, this is probably part of something a little bit bigger, but when people don't get the real straight lay of the land on this and get a little bit of notice and so forth and get some input, I think things don't necessarily get accepted so well.
Yeah, Paddington won't be the same. They won't have to have that old man that they have at Paddington
they
Hardware.
Him, you know.
Yeah,
you can't go in there.
You can't park in Paddington unless you buy some nails or something.
Right.
I think we've all had his shaking head as well.
Yeah, that's right. Don't you go into the bottle over.
Don't you dare. All right, Scott, thank you very much for your time this morning. Scott Driscoll, Executive Director of the Retailers Association, saying, what the hell are parking meters doing out as far as Chermside?